Yo, what's good, y'all boys? So you're gonna reacting to how to beat pure stupidity in snowfalls by Nerd Explains, man. Check out my dog Nerd Explains. I don't know him, but W YouTuber, funny guy. Like I'm talking about funny. If you like Pete, bro, he's funny, bro. Trust. Funny guy, entertaining YouTuber, W YouTuber, like all around informative, amazing dude, man. Check him out, man. That's some real. On that, let's get the vid started.
Isolated mountain cabin. What would you do? It's almost that time of year again when the northern hemisphere starts giving the sun the silent treatment, throws a frigid white blanket over itself,
What the fuck is eggnog anyway, bro? It tastes good as fuck, but what even is it, bro? I'm not gonna lie. Mm.
and tells warmth and joy to step off until spring. Most of us will be hibernating, eating industrial-sized bags of Cheetos and drinking alcoholic eggnog. But for those of you who don't take one look at all that frozen white bullshit and go back to bed, it means you'll be playing chicken with death.
I don't like alcoholic version. I don't like alcohol. I'm gonna keep it a buck 1,000. I mean, I can't drink alcohol because you know I'm simply, but still though, amazing, amazing. What am I even saying? It just tastes good, bro. Too much talking.
The kind of death that creeps up on you like a coward and turns your own mind against you. I don't know about you, but I refuse to die from a cold. I'm going to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat this snow sickness in snowfalls. It's New Year's Eve. Andy, M, River, Eden, and Kit are normal people doing normal things, like gathering all the booze that they can fit in one car and driving up into the mountains to a cabin that belongs to River's parents for the weekend. They build a snowman, drink like there's no tomorrow, and break in that nice deck jacuzzi properly. Eden gets in some med school studying like a nerd. M hypochondriacs all over everyone, and they all zoom the one member of their friend group who couldn't make it. A guy named Jace, who loves these people way more than their actual families do. Aside from a warning from River's dad not to wreck the place or spill anything, they're basically left to their own devices. Well, not devices. There's barely any cell service, and the Wi-Fi only lasts a single night before a sudden blizzard knocks out their power. But not before they watch the ball drop and Kit makes them all alcoholic snow cones. M wonders if it's sanitary to eat the snow. Well, so long as it's not yellow or black, I think you're fine. The radio kicks on with a weather warning. The popular ski resort area of snowfalls is about to be hit by 2 storms and a bomb cyclone. Basically, a swirling air mass caused by a rapid drop in air pressure. In summer, these bring torrents of rain. In winter, a blizzard. Right on cue, the power dies. River checks the backup generator, but there's no gas. So, he tells everyone they'll sleep in the living room by the fire, and if they need to, wedge towels under the doors. Oh, I thought he was going to say spoon each other. Well, that makes sense. Fireplaces typically only heat the room that they're in, so if that's all we have, we're all getting cozy by the fire. But if you're ever in a building this size with an open floor plan like this, you're going to lose a lot of the heat to just basic architecture, especially with that giant window directly across from the fireplace. Look for blankets and nails. Tell River to get over it and tack up blankets across the room's entrances and windows to minimize heat loss. It'll turn this room into an oven, which will both keep us warm and prevent us from blazing through the limited firewood that we do have. No joke. This is the most immediate, easy way to beat this situation. And I'm bringing it up early because, well, they're on the clock even though they don't know it yet. They need to handle their situation now, before things get worse. Not many of you know this, but I have a side hustle, selling space cruisers to intergalactic tours in Star Trek Fleet Command. Star Trek Fleet Command.
Man, Star Trek Fleet. I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with the movies. Never really watched the shows like that, but I fuck with the movies on some real shit. 'Cause it's like, bro,
Because there's not much in reserve. So, it'd be easy to shit all over them for being unprepared. But it's not like we live in Mad Max, Blizzard Rush. The storm came on without a warning. Any of us could get stuck somewhere without backup power, and only the wood we brought with us for warmth. Having said that, now's probably a good time to start. I don't know, proactively improving our odds using this revolutionary new technology called chopping wood. I know, practically Da Vinci over here, coming up with these radical new ideas. Most people chop firewood in the late winter winter, early spring to give the wood an entire year to dry out before winter comes. That doesn't mean you can't chop more in the winter, it's just harder. In a bit, we'll see that they have an axe. So, while we have full stomachs, we should be hacking at the woods like they owe us money, especially if River doesn't want us axing his parents' antiques when it gets too cold. If chopping actual trees is too hard, you can cut off branches instead. There's no time to waste. They need to do this now, like right now. By the end of the first day, they start talking about siphoning gas from the car to run the generator, but that would mean they won't be able to use the car when the roads are clear. Eden warns them drinking alcohol will only make them colder, which is true, and them and Andy take off their clothes and cuddle to keep warm. They run out of firewood on the second day and have to start rationing food. Kit and Andy walk as far as they can, but the roads are snowed in. Andy suggests they break up pieces of furniture for firewood, but River won't hear of it. He promised his family he wouldn't wreck anything in the house. Not a good sign that the only thing keeping you alive is already out of fuel by day 2. Again, easily fixed with that axe that they have. But if the literal forest outside your doorstep isn't gonna cut it, you gotta start hacking away at this house. Staying in a giant wooden lodge, slowly dying of hypothermia, is like being on a deserted island surrounded by water you can't drink. Except it's nothing like that because the option exists to fix your situation immediately. You dumb. The wood inside is also probably better, considering it's already dry. They need to start disassembling IKEA's finest, like right now. I mean, I wouldn't want to breathe it in, but we kind of don't have a choice. Their big problem is the silent killer already among them, hypothermia, which is basically your body losing heat faster than it can produce heat. You start shivering and slurring your speech. You're confused. Your memory goes, and you get sleepy. That's the early stages of the illness. The real danger comes when you stop shivering. Your core temp drops below 90 and you begin to hallucinate. Once that happens, you enter the I can't trust anything I see phase of the illness, where you can't help yourself or anyone else. You may be saying to yourself, yeah, but it's only been a few hours. They can wait a while before they start their shining reenactment. You'd be wrong and dead. Depending on the temp and your shelter situation, hypothermia can set in as little as 5 minutes. No, really, 5 minutes. Now, these people are inside. They've layered up, they're sitting by a fire, they're trying to stay warm, so the cold is seeping in much slower than it would if one of them jumped into an icy river or something. But it's coming for them every second of every minute that they're sitting here. Eden tells them they have to do 2 things to survive this: stay warm and stay awake. Worried that if someone goes to sleep, they'll die of hypothermia. She's not wrong. Staying warm is obvious.
I'm not gonna lie. Intrusive. I went to New York. I'm not gonna speak about this. Actually, who gives a fuck? I went to New York, bro, and I was by the Statue of Liberty type shit. And you know how it was cold as it's cold as fuck. Like I don't know what month, but it gets cold as fuck in New York. I don't know if that's every day. I don't know. And I was by the Statue of Liberty, and I was also by another place. I don't know what it was. All I could think to myself was jump over the railing into the water. Like I don't know why. I'm not on no so snow self deletion shit, but it's like, bro, like I don't know why, bro. It just like occurred in my mind. I just kept looking at the water, like seeing my friend hands start freezing, breath, all that shit. Just think to myself, jump, jump, jump. Oh, bro. Where did that? Never mind. But there, yeah.
Obvious, and she suggests one easy and clever way to
Listen, just want to
conserve
put it
heat
out.
immediately by using hot water bottles at their feet to help keep their core temp up. That's super easy to do here because they have natural gas coming through the stove, which means they can constantly heat the water to refill those bottles. It's not as good as a fire or, the power being on, but it'll work. However, staying awake can also be dangerous. Even going 24 hours without sleep can cause slurred speech, reduced reaction time, slow thinking, and eventually hallucinations. Yeah, I don't need a snow demon torturing my freezing before I go into cardiac arrest. We're gonna keep this place warm and just avoid all of that. Turn this room into a blanket fort. Start making a mental list of everything of lesser value in the house that can be burned. Chairs, window blinds, boxes in the attic. Not everything in here is an antique. I'm sure River's rich parents can replace kitchen cabinet doors. I'm also pretty sure they wouldn't want a bunch of dead bodies in their house. Instead, they pop Kit's Adderall pills to stay awake, and the mental gymnastics begin. Kit feels the effects of hypothermia mixed with sleep deprivation first. He lights the gas stove to warm his hands, then he lets the intrusive thoughts win.
What are you thinking?
A little later, River starts to wonder if the snow itself is contaminated with something. M points out that they ate it too, and the paranoia sets in. River gets up to look outside and hallucinates the snowman coming to get him. This is the make or break Frostpunk moment. They need to take drastic measures before they lose their mental clarity for good and all hope is lost. Restore your source of heat or decline. The next day, Andy notices M is missing. It's so cold in the house, they didn't even notice that the door is wide open and M is outside. Her clothing's damp, her heart's racing. Eden warns that M could go into cardiac arrest if they don't slowly raise her temperature. They get her under covers on the couch, only for River to tell them he feels sick and he's worried something evil is in the snow. Eden and Andy huddle with Kit, worried about their friends. Eden says it's the start of mass hysteria, a fear that they're collectively feeding on and panicking about. She says that it means they'll need to do something more drastic, going back to the idea of siphoning gas from the car and using it to power the generator, even if it means they'll be stuck later. Or we start burning furniture. Even if they had a full tank of gas, which they don't, it would only run a house generator for between 8 and 12 hours. Grandma's knickknacks, on the other hand, will keep us warm for the rest of our lives. River offers to siphon the gas himself, but even though they just talked about him acting strange, they let him do it on his own. When he doesn't return, Andy catches River sabotaging everything.
What the hell are you doing?
Furniture bonfire it is. Tie Captain Paranoia to a chair before you do it too, just to make sure he can't interfere
What was that one
again.
person in the
Not to go
group, man?
full oversimplified here, but a lot of this behavior matches accounts from the doomed Donner Party of 1846. Freezing temps, erratic behavior, mania, and eventually cannibalism. It got so bad that even when the rescue was literally standing in front of them, people didn't believe that they were saved and continued to kill each other. Lack of sleep, cold, hunger, they do things to our brains. The only way we survive here is to act before we reach the tipping point of insanity. It's too late for M. While they're handling the River situation, M locks herself in the bathroom and hallucinates. She becomes convinced that the snow has infected her and tries to cut it out before Andy can break down the door. Anybody else having flashbacks to that poor scene from The Revenant? Eden goes to grab a first aid kit to sew M up and discovers River's been hoarding food while the rest of them go hungry. That would be strike 3. Time to tie this dude to a chair before he can harm anybody else. It's for his own good too. Andy takes the axe to a coffee table in the living room to build a new fire, but River intervenes. Unfortunately, Andy's not.
Y'all not gonna tie this nigga up, bro. But see, one thing I learned, it's always that one crazy, it's always the one nigga that's like just completely falls victim to the whatever the fuck, disease, gas, whatever, first in the group. And it's like, bro, either get him gone or just restrain him, like talking about ultra max penitentiary, super fortified way, because if you let him free, he will only harm you and himself. And it's like, bro, as you can see right now, in about 0.5 seconds. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. And bro, y'all don't know how to tie someone down? Literally tie his legs together. Like, make some super impossible knot that he can't get out of and tie his fucking hand tight as hell, bro. Now don't restrict him so you know what I'm saying, but tie his hands, you feel me?
Not entirely there himself, and he gets distracted at the wrong moment. And it's a hard TKO for the big guy. River can't believe what he's done. M almost takes a swing at him, and nobody gets back to chopping up that god coffee table. Guys, it's what Andy would have wanted. Eden hears her phone ringing. It's Jace, who tells her he called for rescue when he didn't hear from them. Not River's parents, the actual owners of the house, or any of the other parents. This random dude who flaked on them. Unfortunately, she's left to think it's a hallucination when the call freaks and Kit says the phone is dead. By the next day, they still haven't built a new fire, and they've all started hallucinating, which means they're all at the mercy of fickle mortality now. Kit says he'll walk until he can find help, but he finds some waiting in the closet for him. Despite that hallucination, they still let him leave because they're all too far gone for self-diagnosis. M holds it together until nightfall, when when she hallucinates that Andy is still alive, telling her to leave without her coat or her friends. She steals the keys, turns on the car, and freezes to death in the night. Cool. In the morning, Eden and River decide to go after Kit, even though it's snowing again and he left an entire day ago. Yeah, this is a great way to lose his trail almost immediately and wander until a Wendigo makes an easy meal out of you. Kit didn't make it too far anyway. They find his naked body just past side of the house. Eden tells River it's called paradoxical undressing, a severe hypothermic response where a freezing person becomes so convinced that they're hot that they strip off all their clothes and freeze to death faster. River finally agrees to start breaking antiques, but it's too late. He hallucinates Eden attempting to seduce him with a hot shower. Of course, the water isn't hot, and the real Eden pulls them out, practically seizing with cold. They hear sirens in the distance and sit on the porch waiting for help to arrive, with River still wet and shivering beside her. The police officer asks Eden if there's any other survivors. She says it's just us, but River isn't really there. He froze to death in the shower upstairs. Well, let's hope this officer brought a thermal foil blanket
Yo,
and
bro,
has a
I ain't gonna lie. That would have got me too. Whenever I see that shit in movies, it's like, damn, man. Damn, man. I guess you know what I'm talking about. You know, man.
therapist on speed dial because she's gonna need them both. Every single death here was avoidable almost from the beginning.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on, man?
Dial because she's gonna survivors. She says it's just, well, she's gonna need them both. Every single death here was avoidable almost from the beginning.
The fuck? Hold on. And why am I clicking the wrong buttons, bro? Start this fucking tit tab, dog. Oh my god, I don't really fucking. That's why. Hold on. Dude, horse shit, man, bro. Bro, what the fuck? How do I? Hold on, let me just pause this. All right, WVid, I guess. Oh, hold on. Hold on. 87 hours later. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, WV, yeah, boys. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Don't know what the fuck just happened. Shit's crazy.